So you're trying to figure out exactly when to hire a fractional marketing executive. And I'll be honest with you, most companies get this timing completely wrong. First, we're going to talk about what I call the tactical trap and why hiring a junior marketer or an agency before you actually have a strategy is just a guaranteed way to burn cash. Then I'll walk you through the 3 specific inflection points when a company absolutely needs a fractional CMO. But we also need to talk about the elephant in the room. Why AI can't build your marketing strategy and why it desperately needs a human executive to guide it. And finally, I'll explain why hiring a full-time CMO too early is often an expensive mistake that actually slows down your growth. Let's get into it. You know how it goes. A company realizes they need to grow, and their first instinct is to usually hire someone to do marketing. They hire a social media manager, or they bring in an SEO agency, or they just start running ads. But 6 months later, they're frustrated because they aren't seeing any pipeline or revenue. The problem isn't the tactics. The problem is that they're executing tactics without a strategy. If you want to know when to hire a fractional marketing executive, the answer is pretty simple. You hire them when you need strategic leadership to build the engine, but you don't yet have the revenue to support a $250,000 full-time CMO. A fractional marketing executive comes in, assesses the landscape, builds a strategy, and then manages the tactical team to execute it. Let's break down what that looks like and then the specific moments when you need to make this hire. The first sign that you need a fractional marketing executive is that when you realize you are caught in the tactical trap. This happens when the CEO or founder is still acting as the de facto head of marketing. You're the one approving the ad copy. You're the one deciding which events to attend. You're the one managing all the freelance writers. But because you're busy running the company, marketing only happens in fits and starts. It's reactive, not proactive. Or worse, you've hired a junior marketing coordinator and you're frustrated they're not driving strategy. But let's be real, you can't expect a $60,000 a year coordinator to build a comprehensive go-to-marketing engine, even with AI. A fractional marketing executive steps in to take that burden off the CEO. They're a senior leader who works permanently part-time and is embedded directly into your leadership team. They take ownership of the strategy so the CEO can get back to the business of running the business, and the junior team finally has the leadership they need to execute effectively. There are 3 specific inflection points when hiring a fractional marketing executive is the smartest move you can make. First, the stalled growth phase. You've hit 5-10 million in revenue through founder-led sales and word of mouth, but that engine, it's tapped out. You need a predictable, scalable marketing system to get to that next level. Second, the pivot or launch phase. You're entering a new market, launching a new product, or maybe you're repositioning the company. You need high-level strategic guidance to ensure the launch doesn't fall flat, but you don't need that level of strategy forever. Third is the funding phase. You're either preparing to raise capital and you need a rock-solid go-to-market strategy to show investors, or maybe you've just closed a round and the board is now demanding immediate execution. You need a heavy hitter to deploy the capital efficiently, but you don't want to burn your new runway on a massive executive salary. If you're in any of these 3 phases, a fractional marketing executive is the exact right hire. The third reason to hire a fractional marketing executive, because you might be falling for the AI illusion. Right now, a lot of CEOs don't think they need a marketing leader because they have ChatGPT. They think AI can just write the copy, build the campaigns, and generate the leads. But here's the reality. AI can't build a strategy that understands your business the way a human leader can. Well, technically, I guess AI can, but it's going to build something that's generic, watered down, and it's going to look exactly like your competitors. AI is an incredible execution tool, don't get me wrong, but it desperately needs a human executive to guide it. It needs a senior leader who understands the nuances of your market, the psychology of your buyers, and the specific positioning of your brand. A fractional marketing executive doesn't replace AI, they harness it. They use AI to execute the tactical work at scale while they focus on the high-level strategy that actually drives revenue. If you're relying on AI to do your strategic thinking, it's a race to the bottom. You need a human leader at the helm. The final thing to understand is why hiring a full-time CMO too early is often a massive mistake. When a company in the $5 to $20 million range hires a full-time CMO, they're usually paying a premium for strategic thinking. But that company doesn't need 40 hours a week of strategy. They need 10 hours of brilliant strategy and 30 hours of tactical execution. So what happens? The expensive CMO ends up doing $50 an hour tactical work just to fill their time, or they get bored and leave. A fractional marketing executive solves this problem. By operating permanently part-time, they provide the exact caliber of talent you need to break through your growth ceilings, but at a fraction of the cost. You get the strategic vision of a seasoned executive, and you use the savings to hire the tactical team or fund the actual marketing campaigns. It's a model built entirely on efficiencies, but more importantly, on outcomes. So when we talk about when to hire a fractional marketing executive, we're talking about that moment when you realize that tactics without strategy are burning your cash. It means recognizing the inflection points, stalled growth, a major pivot, or a critical funding event. It means understanding AI is an execution tool, not a strategist, and it needs a human leader to guide it. And it means understanding that for most mid-market companies, a full-time CMO is an expensive mistake, while a fractional executive provides the exact right level of leadership at the exact right cost. When you make this hire at the right time, you stop guessing at marketing and you start building a predictable revenue engine. Now that you understand how to market your fractional business, if you want to see how to turn these strategies into a predictable, scalable pipeline, go watch this video next, the system behind predictable pipeline for fractional executives. In that video, you'll see how to take these marketing concepts and build them into a cohesive system that runs even when you're busy delivering to your clients. Go watch that video next.